All right, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about a couple things that came in the mail. First off, we're going to talk about ammunition. I got some LAX, I think it's Freedom Ammunition, was what it's called. I got LAX ammunition, okay? Regardless, good stuff. I've used it before on my HK45, and I got more 45 ACP. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take 50 from each container that I have, and I'm just gonna replace that ammunition with the federal ammo that I have, just so that way I have more ammunition. Or like I'm putting some of that ammunition back, and I just want to test it through the 1911, make sure that it runs properly. If not, if it doesn't run properly the through the 1911, then what's going to happen is those are going to be my target rounds, and I'm going to just use that in my HK45, and or uh my 1911, and I'm just probably going to have to musket the thing every single time. And then I'll go ahead and keep stocking federal ammo, so that way I'll get that 1,000 rounds like I have right now. So I'm gonna get the LAX ammo, test fire it, put the federal ammunition inside of those containers, and if it runs properly, then I won't have to worry about touching the rest of them or touching federal ammo. But from what I hear, 1911s can run those 200 grain rounds no problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and test fire that, make sure that comment is safe. With that being said, the other thing that came in the mail. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of Colt, because Colt is very generous in how many mags they give you. You see, Colt has a reputation for making quality pistols, in which I agree. Mine came out to be pretty good quality. The problem is, um, well, even though I got that quality firearm like I wanted, I didn't get a lot of mags. In fact, I only got one mag. So I ended up getting 5 more 7 round magazines. These are Springfield magazines. But I do know that the traditional, like not the traditional, but like the standardized magazines always work. Wilson Combats, you're getting good reliability, not perfect. And then everything else, you pretty much, you know, doing a coin toss and hoping that the thing runs. So I was just like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna just go with the stock stuff. I'll sacrifice 1 round from each magazine, because I know I wanted the 8 rounds, but there were two problems with that. Wilson Combats, I've had experience in the past where the first round, and it's always the first and the last round, never feed properly. Um, and then like it just jams. Like for me, I've only had Wilson Combats that jam. So I was like, yeah, I can sacrifice 8 rounds. I can sacrifice that eighth round. So I'll just stick to the standardized 7 mags that the Springfields and T sauces and stuff like that, and Colts, they all come with, right? So I ended up getting 5 more of these. They're only $15 on Midway USA. Very, very affordable if you're looking to get cheap magazines and stuff that runs. Okay, so I got all of my federal ammunition because it's ran perfectly before. So I got federal ammunition loaded up in these, and these are just your typical ball rounds. Um, these are secondary mags. These are not the primary. The primary is going to have hollow points. So yeah. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to the third thing that came in the mail. This one is probably more important because I was sketched out when I first purchased it, and I didn't get a receipt on the email like I was supposed to. But I didn't really mind it. Let me put this right here. So, SladeStreet.com. That's who gave me the patch and everything like that. SladeStreet.com. I'm gonna say this right now. With the quality of their product, I would have to say, very, very good. they're very good. They're not perfect, not perfect by any means, but the product that I bought from them is pretty damn good. So as you guys know, I've been wanting a heat guard for, or a heat shield, whatever you want to call it, on my 1301 Tactical Mod 2. And so I ended up going ahead and getting it, getting this heat guard. I went to Reddit, and Reddit recommended getting this one. They have two different variations of this same exact heat guard. I think they have this one, and then they have one that has, like, instead of the rivets like this one, they have ones that just have circular holes, right? But I chose this one just because it was the closest thing that I could find, or it was like the first thing that I found. So I ended up getting it, and basically it's a polymer heat guard that's raised, I would say, maybe half an inch above the barrel. I'm gonna show you what I mean. So there's a decent bit of distance between the barrel, maybe a quarter of an inch, not half an inch, but a decent bit of the distance between the top or the bottom of the heat shield and where the barrel is. So good venting, and then not only that, it's going to be good for when the gun gets hot, or when the barrel gets hot. It's not going to be able to dissipate the heat, but it's going to be able to keep that distance from the heat. So and then not only that, metal so I've seen some metal heat shields, and I don't understand why they're there, but okay. But anyway, besides the point, you'll be able to dissipate the heat a lot better with, just straight polymer. Downside is it's not going to be as durable. That's the only real downside that I see. Other than that, very simplistic design. This one is pretty much universal. You can put it on any of the following shotguns. Let me go ahead and get that real quick. Hold on, because I have it somewhere. Here it is. You can put this on any of the following shotguns: the Remington TAC-14, the Mossberg Shockwave. You can put it on the 590A1. You can put it on the Beretta 1301 and the Beretta A300. So you can put these. So it's basically a universal heat shield. So pretty cool. I like that. $30. That's all it took. So with that being said, there was some complication in terms of like communication. So for me, I didn't email them. This is where I'm gonna give you some transparency. I didn't email them, okay? But I did have at some point like a screenshot of the confirmation number of like, okay, we are processing your order. Once we get everything, we'll go ahead and give you the receipt and stuff like that. I didn't get the receipt. And I haven't gotten any emails regarding, or like any notifications in terms of shipment. So I was like, okay, where's it at? And then like over time, I want to say I ordered it like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. Over time, I was just like, you know what? It's probably not coming. So I'm just going to go ahead and just let it be, because honestly, I'm not too pressed about it. $30 is just $30. I can make that money up in an hour, right? An hour of doing work. So it's just like, is it really that much of a loss? No, not really. But it would have been nice had this been a legit business, which it was. The only problem was I never got any notifications of the shipment, like I said, and I didn't get a receipt. So if I wanted to say that I want to cancel the order, they wouldn't have any proof of that. So I don't know what happened. I just couldn't find it on my email. Maybe they did send it to me, but I would put the Slade Street, or like whatever the email was that sent me, or it wasn't even an email. There wasn't even an email, but I would just keep looking for Slade Street or something along the lines of that. I didn't get one. So I was like, okay, well, that's weird. Whatever the case may be. I made sure that, when I was putting everything in, email was typed out correctly and stuff like that. So I don't know what happened. Maybe it was just like they typed it in wrong or something. Whatever the case may be. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna forget about it. I forgot about it, and then I got it in the mail today. And I was like, wow, I completely forgot about that. But get this. This is the funny part. So the packaging is the same, right? These two packages are the same. One of them had all of my Springfield magazines in them, and the other one had the heat shield in there. I'm over here thinking to myself, what what is in this other bag? Because I don't remember ordering anything else. Like, why would they put 4 magazines in one of these bags and then one 7 round magazine in another bag? And I'm feeling it. It's like, it don't feel right. And so that's when I opened it up and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I pull it out. It's like, oh, that's what I ordered. Like, I ordered that a while ago. So they did come through and give me my stuff. So I'm grateful. With that being said, other than the communication issue, and this could have been like some sort of technical error that they may have had on their end, or I don't know, maybe on my end. I don't know exactly what's going on. But the point being is, other than the communication error that we were having, and again, this is another thing that I need to stress out. I legit forgot about it because I didn't want to stress about it. I knew $30 was $30, and I was like, okay, well, if it just doesn't come in, it doesn't come in. I lost $30. Oh well. Like, it really didn't hurt me to lose the $30. So I was just like, I'm not even gonna bother messaging them. So that is where, on my end, I will admit that I am wrong. In saying that the communication was not there. But again, there was like some sort of communication error with the shipping, and there was a communication error with the receipt. I never got my receipt, and I never got the shipping status. Nothing like that. And again, I should have emailed, but I just didn't care anymore. So now I have it, and I'm like, huh, hey, look at that. So, okay. So with that being said, I would say these guys are trustworthy, okay? Let it be known that I did, in fact, get my shipment. I did, in fact, get what I ordered. It was just, I didn't get notifications, and I completely forgot about it because of it. So if it was something a little more expensive, like $50 to $70, then yeah, I'm like, okay, where the fuck is my shit? Because that's that's a lot of money. But $30, I could buy 2 Happy Meals with that. And, I already do that on a daily basis anyway. So it's just like, who cares? Um, so yeah, I was just like, whatever. I forgot about it about a week ago, and it came in the mail. I was like, oh, okay, well, there it is. Put it on. Very easy to install. So it's just held by a rubber band, and there's a clamp up here, and you put the 2 screws in so that way it clamps down properly, and it's pretty much snug. You don't have to worry about any issues. Let me try to get this rubber band because it's covering up one of the vents like really bad, and I don't like that. Like for me, I try to be as efficient as possible, and it's efficient when you have all the airflow and not just some of it. So, like I said, it's being held on to by like a rubber band and 2 screws. Works for me. Like, there's no problem with that. As long as it works. So I'm gonna be test firing this. I'm gonna get some birdshot or some target loads and just go ahead and run this thing. Probably get 100 target loads and just call it a day. Target loads are pretty cheap anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna just do that, and I'm probably so I'm gonna take this. I got to take the Galil because I have to test the gas system. make sure that I didn't undergas it, so it'll cycle. And also I have to test fire the 1911 magazines. I want to make sure that each magazine works. So I'm gonna be taking 100 rounds from each case of ammunition. So that's another thing too. I need to take 50 rounds from one, 50 rounds from another. Let's go ahead and shoot that. Make sure that they both work, and then I'll go ahead and replenish that ammunition with the federal ammo that I have, just so that way, in case that doesn't work, then I can shoot all of that. I'll buy more federal ammunition and then just call it a day. But anyway, besides the point, I'm going to be shooting this on Saturday. I'm going to be shooting the Galil Ace, and I'm going to be shooting the 1911. I just want to run it through its paces, make sure that it works properly. So with that being said, the next video that's going to be coming up, now granted, you know, I said that it was supposed to be, this video was supposed to be about the CZ Scorpion. I'll get to that in just a moment, or in a future video. With that being said, we're nearing 250 rounds. I'm only 100 rounds away, a little less than that actually. And so once I get the exact ammo count that I run through it, then we'll go ahead and do that 250 round review on the 1911. And we're also nearing 700 rounds on the Galil Ace. And then we're going to be running 300 more rounds through this thing. And I'm going to do a 500 round review on this and pretty much call it a day. And this will just be like anytime that I want to shoot some target loads through this thing, yeah, I'll go shoot it. Otherwise, 250 rounds of buckshot is a lot, right? And it gets super hot super quick, so I'm going to try to keep that quick. So anyway, besides the point, boom, boom, all right, and not this. And boom. So I'm gonna be shooting all of these. And before you guys say anything, I always make sure that none of these guns, except for this one, this is the only one that has a round kind of in the chamber. I have it like broken a little bit, so the action's like slightly pushing back. And that's just because I want to make sure, like, if this thing falls, it's not gonna go boom. So yeah, I want to make sure, like, if the hammer goes forward, this thing ain't going nowhere. So yeah. Although, and then everything else, no other guns have rounds in the chamber, so it's cool. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and put all these guns away. My sister's coming back from school, and she wants to go to the range. So we're going to be doing that in the meantime. I'll go ahead and load my defensive ammo, which is pretty much just Winchester buckshot. So I think it's 9 pellet from what my dad gave me. So yeah. Oh. And that's 7. And we're gonna go ahead and ghost load my slug. And now we have 8 rounds in this thing. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and talk about the CZ Scorpion in the next video because I wasn't thinking that I was going to make this video. So, yeah. Anyway, I'll be seeing you guys soon. Have a great day. Love y'all.